230 competitors. That's representing all states and territories, plus we've had some visitors from Papua New Guinea, Fiji, New Zealand, India. It's the biggest junior event and the most prestigious.
Primarily my role has started 3 weeks ago actually, with setting all the chairs and everything up. We then release them and wait for all the complaints to come in, do the redraws, and then I spend all my time getting everybody on and off the court and making sure that we finish on time, putting the results in, updating the websites, things like that.
My biggest was probably my mum and dad. My mum played for Indonesia in the X Games, so she was very good.
My whole family played since I was little.
My parents did when I was about 7.
My mum worked at the Scottish Centre when I was young, and she still does, and she just inspired me to play, and I've been playing ever since.
It ran in the family. My parents were good squash players too, so I think my parents.
My family's always played, and so I kind of grew up around the sport.
My parents, they both play squash.
It actually took me to a squash club one time. So 6 or 7, I just started hitting the ball. Loved it ever since then.
My parents did when I was about 7 years old, and also my coaches were like, you should try out squash, so I was like, might as well give it a go, and I enjoyed it from there.
My oldest brother, I've watched him playing at a very young age, since I was about 8 years old, and then I got into that and I've been playing ever since.
My brother, she started squash first, and I played with him, so I started squash after that.
Well, the first thing you've got to do is have passion. You've got to love what you're doing, and to obviously get to #1 in the world, you've got to have that passion and determination.
Obviously hand-eye coordination has to be the first one. Good hand-eye coordination, speed and agility obviously makes a very good player. And then as they get older, obviously it's a thought process of what shots to hit when.
Really, the player has to be interested in wanting to play, and that's probably the biggest thing. It's not necessarily about the winning, it's about whether the players are learning, and if they are, win or lose, as long as they learn something and take it from there, then that's a success for me.
And if I lose, I try and think back to why I played there and how I can fix it.
The schedule's quite busy because we've got 230 kids from around Australia here. We're showcasing the best juniors in Australia. You basically go to referee school. You come along to one of our teaching clinics. It takes about 4 hours to get into the first level. You do an exam, you do an online exam, you have a rule book, and once you pass, you're at the very bottom level, which is called club level referee. And a club referee could easily handle probably the 13, 15-year-old age group here, but if you went to the 17s or the 19s, it might be a little bit difficult. A level referee would probably do 10 to 12 to 13 matches a day.
Yeah, I think I do. Like, it depends. Every match is different, so you get different nerves depending on what kind of tournament it is and that sort of thing. But yeah, I think it's a bit natural to get pretty nervous for a match. Difficult, but I think I had a lot of help from my teachers. They were definitely really helpful in trying to give me assessments and that sort of thing to kind of get me through school. Yeah, I had a really good time at school. I mean, I miss it now, but it's worth it. It gets you a long way. And we went to Boston this year to play the World Juniors, and that's definitely a highlight of my career. The feeling after you have won such a major competition is not comparable to anything else. I'd love to make top 10 in the world and be right up there and competing all the time on the world circuit and traveling the globe. At the moment I'm just getting over an injury, so I'm restricted. I'm doing about 3 hours a day, and that's 6 days a week. So that's after turning to shoot a spot in Brisbane. So yeah.
About 11 or 12, depending on a lot of things like how I'm feeling.
The squash courts are closed. We've only got limited time, so I train Friday, Saturday and Wednesday. That's for squash. And then off court I do Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday.
3 to 5 times a week. Pretty much just matches and drills.
6 days a week. Training and skill.
Probably train 5 to 4 times a week. It includes fitness training like beep tests. I train right after I come back from school.
Usually train probably about 2 times a week, 2 to 3 times.
5 to 6 days a week, depending on the week. If there's a tournament, it's 7 days a week. Just solo hitting 3 times a week, lesson with any coach, Sarah or Shauna, and doing fitness in the gym and treadmill and running.
We do it almost every day, Sunday. Saturday I have a break because it's my summer, so we don't train on Saturday.
I'm originally from Canada, but I'm representing Victoria. Been here 3.5 months now. I kind of push it aside. I try to ground myself as much as I can. It's difficult when it comes to big tournaments, but I just try to keep emotions out of it. Keep a little bit of nerves, it's always good, but try to push as much as like to the back of your mind. I used to play high-level soccer when I was about 10, and soccer actually used to be my #1 sport for 5 or 6 years. Then I decided to switch to squash when I became provincial champion in Canada, so I thought I'd have a better chance of going somewhere.
I was over in England for 3 months and I was doing 3 times a day, and yeah, I was killing myself for 3 months straight because I lost to all these boys just before I left actually. I definitely want to play a lot more now because there's obviously more options open. I want to try and get into the Australian shooter sport if I can, so that's my goal at the moment.
It has such a great community. All the people are great people, and it's where you're competitive on court, but you're friends off court, which is, I love that. You can have a hard 5-setter and then come off and go joke about it.
They should just come and try the sport because some of them are getting obese when they don't do any exercise.
Do it. It's fun. Yeah, you make a lot of friends. It keeps you fit.
It keeps you fit, and it's a lot of fun because it's just, if you want to play it socially, it's good to get to know people.
Sport is fun, so come along.
Well, they call it the healthiest sport, and it's just, you lose a lot of weight and a lot of kilos, maintains your fitness, and it's very enjoyable meeting new players.
You get to meet a lot of great people. It's a healthy sport.
I'm actually here working with a bunch of kids that are all in the Victorian Squash Academy. Squash Academy is the most talented kids in the state, and they obviously get a bit of support and funding, and obviously access to coaches, physio, gymnasium, and that's what they require to help them succeed. When you look around these championships, we got some pretty good kids that are coming through, and obviously there's some talent here from overseas, so our kids get to see how they stand up against some internationals as well.
Sarah's a great player, a great ambassador for the sport. She's certainly very involved with squash and also racquetball in Victoria.
If we can keep the numbers of players and we can grow the numbers of players, I think we've got a really good chance. We've got lots of kids coming through, the development program's changing a lot. We've got a lot more kids going through a national program. So with any luck, we're looking good for games and hopefully one day the Olympics.
Oh look, you only have to see some of the players here over the last few days to give you an idea how squash is kicking on in Australia. Give us another 5 years and we'll have some world champions. Yeah.